Commandments and the laws, Joshua said there's war in the camp. It was so wild and crazy. They rejected God. They turned away. Make us gods. But Acts chapter 7, verse 41 and 42, so important. That was the time they made an idol in the form of a calf. They brought sacrifices to it. They reveled in what their own hands had made. Acts 7:42, God turned away from them. God, who had chosen them and loved them and provided for them all through their history, and now had given them the law and was preparing them to re-enter their land that He promised, they refused to obey, and the Bible says God turned away from them and gave them over to the worship of the sun and the moon and the stars. Then Stephen, in this sermon, quotes Amos, the prophet Amos. He quotes Amos chapter 5, verse 42. Amos chapter 5, verse 42. Did you bring me sacrifices and offerings for 40 years in the wilderness, people of Israel? No. You've taken up the tabernacle of Molech and the star of your god Rephan, the idols you made to worship. Therefore I send you into exile. I reject you. The people of God, the chosen family of God, with all of God's sovereignty and all of God's grace, rejected God and made their own gods and worshipped them. And so God turned away from them. And it's a long story of history with kings and prophets, and kings and prophets, but eventually God let Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, come in and destroy them and take them off into exile. And that was the end of Israel. That was the end of it. And Hosea was another 8th century prophet during the king of Jeroboam at the end. And Hosea chapter 9 verse 15 says, because, Hosea 9:15, because of all their wickedness, I hated them. God said, I hated them. Because of their sinful deeds, I will drive them out of my house. I will no longer love them. All their leaders are rebellious. Ephraim is blighted. Their root is withered. They yield no fruit.